Vietnam has faced significant environmental challenges, particularly due to the chemical bombing campaigns during the Vietnam War. The war had a devastating impact on the country's forests and wildlife. The US military used defoliants, bombs, and other chemicals to destroy forests that concealed Vietnamese troops and crops, aiming to thin out dense jungles. From 1961 to 1971, they sprayed millions of liters of herbicides, including Agent Orange, on over 3 million hectares of tropical forests and mangroves. These defoliants destroyed around 6% of Vietnam's land area. The environmental devastation experienced during the war served as a pivotal turning point in Vietnam's approach to environmental protection. In response to the significant ecological harm inflicted during the conflict, Vietnam developed comprehensive strategies aimed at remediation. The country implemented reforestation projects, established new protected areas, and undertook renewed efforts to preserve and restore habitats for endangered species. However, rapid urbanization and industrial development have produced significant environmental costs, including habitat destruction, biodiversity loss, and key ecosystem degradation. Land transformation has pushed many species to the brink of extinction and fragmented wildlife habitats. Wildlife poaching, spurred by the demand from domestic and Asian black markets, has devastated the majority of species in Vietnam, leading to the extinction of large mammals such as Asian rhino and tigers, as well as the declining populations of pangolins and otters. To address these issues, the government has made great strides to establish and strengthen protected areas, enforce wildlife conservation laws, and support reforestation projects, as well restoring degraded ecosystems and habitats. This has been an essential policy of Vietnam to maintaining ecological balance and preventing further species loss. One of Vietnam's natural jewels, being surrounded by human development, is Cat Tien National Park, 3 hours from Ho Chi Minh City. With its sprawling primary forests, lakes, and meandering rivers, Cat Tien National Park is a natural wonderland with iconic species like the majestic Asian elephant and the enigmatic Siamese crocodile. Cat Tien and its adjacent Dong Nai protected area serves as vital ecosystem for water supply to the entire region and habitat for wildlife. This fragile paradise faces unprecedented threats from human activities and increasing environmental degradation.
Cat Tien is one of the few primary forests left in Vietnam. Protecting it, conserving it, is not only important for biodiversity, but also an important solution for climate change. So conserving the forest is a fine work of balance between protecting what is inside and making sure that visitors understand what it is and become more sensitive to it.
Human-wildlife conflict is also a major issue, causing human deaths and crop destruction. The Asian elephant, once freely roaming these ancient forests, occasionally breaks through the electric fence surrounding Cat Tien, causing damage for local farmers.
Vietnam has just over 100 elephants in the country at the moment, which is a huge reduction from decades ago. And the most important reason why this fence was erected is because the elephants are meant to stay in the area behind the fence, and if they were to encroach on humans' areas, such as, when they want to eat some rice, there might be some reaction from the residents, and that's a potential for conflict that we don't want to see.
Habitat fragmentation isolates species populations, making it difficult for them to find mates for breeding. This has now become the greatest threat to wildlife survival.
Human encroachment poses a significant threat to Cat Tien's habitat. The more agricultural lands are expanded, the more infrastructure and human settlements are built, lead to the fragmentation and destruction of natural habitat.
One of Cat Tien's most famous attractions is Crocodile Lake, home to the endangered Siamese crocodile. The lake is also home to a diverse ecosystem that includes numerous bird species, mammals, and tropical fauna, making it a prime location for wildlife observation.
The Siamese crocodile was a popular freshwater species in Vietnam, but because of illegal hunting, they have disappeared from Cat Tien National Park, and they are now a critically endangered species.
The park has been running a conservation program to reintroduce the crocodiles into what is now known as the Crocodile Lake. 60 crocodiles were released into the lake, and after a few years the first baby crocodile was found, an incredible milestone for the conservation efforts. The Crocodile Lake remains protected today, and visitors can see up to hundreds of these species in these waters.
Despite Vietnam's robust policies on environmental and wildlife crimes and its dedicated rangers across its protected areas, industrial-scale poaching remains a pervasive threat across the country. In the past, ranger patrol activities in protected areas were focused more on deforestation and preventing illegal logging. But since the 1990s and international commercialized wildlife trade that has significantly grown over time, there's been an increasing need for anti-poaching actions.
Global conservation is actively supporting Save Vietnam's wildlife in their mission to protect the forests and wildlife of Cat Tien National Park from the threat of poaching. This collaboration focuses on implementing global park defense, a methodology developed by Global Conservation, which includes utilizing technology such as drones, camera traps, and GPS tracking to monitor wildlife and detect illegal activities. Training and equipping park rangers with the necessary tools and skills to effectively patrol and respond to threats. Implementing systems to collect, analyze, and act upon data related to park security and wildlife movements.
Save Vietnam's Wildlife is one of the organizations dedicated to site protection and enhancing anti-poaching in protected areas of Vietnam. We do this primarily by building capacity for rangers to use technologies such as the Spatial Monitoring and Reporting Tool, which is otherwise known as SMART.
Every day, Save Vietnam's wildlife anti-poaching team patrol the vast expanse of Cat Tien, safeguarding its precious wildlife. They have successfully disrupted the poaching networks and saved countless animals. Each animal's traps removed, each arrest made is a victory for wildlife conservation.
Và con động vật nó dẫm cái chân vào trong cái lỗ của cái miệng hom này. Và cái chân cơ chế mà khi mà rút lên thì cái hom nó sẽ đâm ngược những cái gai và nó sẽ dính vào cái chân con động vật như thế này.
Nếu mà chẳng hạn như là con thú nó mà nó cứ cố nó giằng ra thì cơ chế
đúng rồi, cái cơ chế thì khi mà con thú nó giằng ra thì cái sợi dây này nó sẽ càng ngày càng siết chặt lại và sẽ giữ chắc cái chân con thú, và cái sợi dây này sẽ được cố định vào một cây để con thú nó không có thể tháo mà chạy được.
Wow.
Mọi người có thể thấy là rất là nguy hiểm đúng không ạ? Khi mà cái bẫy sập thì trên cơ chế cái bẫy này, khi mà một cái đầu dây này của cái bẫy cũng sẽ được cố định lại vào trong một cái gốc cây.
In addition to on-the-ground patrolling efforts and economic development for alternative livelihoods, community education initiatives play a crucial role in reducing the demand for illegal wildlife products. Public awareness campaigns inform communities about the severe environmental and legal consequences of poaching and the importance of preserving biodiversity. By educating Vietnamese consumers about the negative impacts of purchasing illegal wildlife products, these programs aim to diminish the market-driven incentive for poaching.
Save Vietnam's Wildlife recently received a grant from USAID to raise awareness among both Vietnamese and foreign visitors about the importance of nature conservation and rejecting illegal wildlife trade, including traditional medicine based on unfounded superstitions. The project will provide educational initiatives to the public about wildlife protection activities, anti-poaching efforts, and hopefully help them become more sensitive to life inside the forest.
Save Vietnam's Wildlife is also deeply involved in the rescue and release of local wildlife, playing a vital role in the rehabilitation and reintegration of animals back into their natural habitats. Nguyen Pham is a researcher with Save Vietnam's Wildlife dedicated to the protection and release of endangered wildlife.
Nếu như mà có một cái dự án tái thả tê tê thì mình sẽ phải là người đầu tiên mình đi vào rừng để mình khảo sát các cái địa điểm tái thả. Cái điểm tái thả đó nó có phù hợp với lại môi trường sống của tê tê không, có đủ thức ăn, nước uống và chỗ cư trú, chỗ ngủ cho tê tê. Và mình sẽ đánh dấu cái điểm đó lại và mình sẽ tổ chức một cái quá trình để mà mình đi phá thải như thế này. Ngoài ra thì
A rescue center is dedicated to rescuing, rehabilitating, and releasing wildlife animals that have been injured and threatened by human activities. Each successful release is key to strengthening the park's biodiversity.
Ecotourism plays a crucial role in providing alternative livelihoods for poachers. Transforming individuals from poachers to guides and from exploiters to conservationists is essential for the future of Cat Tien National Park and similar areas. Empowering local communities and promoting ecotourism are key strategies to eliminate illegal logging and wildlife poaching.
One of the things that fascinate me the most is the Nile River that zigzag to the national park. When you stick to the river, you get to see life around it and in it, and it's just this beating heart. And what is even cooler about this river is that it supplies water, fresh water, to Ho Chi Minh City, the biggest city in Vietnam. So, it only makes sense to protect the forest because it's all interconnected.
Cat Tien National Park also plays a crucial role in mitigating climate change through carbon sequestration. The park's diverse plant life absorbs and stores vast amounts of carbon dioxide, acting as a natural carbon sink. Preserving these forests not only protects biodiversity, but also secures these natural mechanisms that help stabilize the global climate.
Every time I come to Cat Tien National Park, I'm always overwhelmed by its beauty, how pristine it is. So it will be a waste to see it not being like this in years to come.
Cat Tien National Park is not just a sanctuary for wildlife, it is a vital part of our global ecosystem, providing essential services that benefit all of humanity. Now, more than ever, we need to come together to protect this natural heritage. Global conservation initiatives rely on your generosity and commitment. Please join us. Your contributions fund essential operations like anti-poaching patrols, wildlife rehabilitation, and community outreach programs. Join us in this vital mission. Act now to protect endangered national parks in developing countries like Cat Tien. The future of our planet depends on the actions we take today. Please help make a difference in Vietnam and 25 other countries where we work. Donate now at www.globalconservation.org/donate. Thank you.